Can you just tell me briefly why you guys wanted to be part of telling this story of letters and songwriters?
It's such an extraordinary story. I think we all know Zoe, and we all knew Geraldine, her mum, who the film's about. It was such a compelling piece of art, and Ian and Jane's work is so extraordinary anyway, that it was an absolute yes. Whatever was going to go on, it was a yes from me.
Yeah, to mirror that, I think, I was a big fan of what Ian and Jane had done with the Nick Cave documentary. And I knew, I had the great honour of knowing Geraldine and Zoe and Simon and Emiliana. So to be asked to be involved, there was a lot of responsibility, I guess, to deliver on their trust. But seeing everyone involved and how the vision that they had for it, there was no way that I could say no. And then it just felt like such a privilege to be on that set for the amount of time that we were, to tell the story as we did.
Yeah, it's true. As they were saying, I think it's a testament to Zoe, the producer, and Geraldine's daughter, to her to be able to bring together all these great artists, the directors and this amazing choreographer and this actor. And so you sort of felt when you turned up on set, okay, we don't 100% know what we're doing, but also, exactly. But also I'm surrounded by this talent and this energy and this vibe that you sort of felt that you're also in safe hands.
Yeah.
And it was just pure joy from action to, okay, that's a wrap, everybody. It was 2 days of filming. Sort of a whirlwind. We came out sort of like, I'm not sure what just happened, but I know it was one of the greatest couple of days of my life. So, it was great fun and a real experience and a real honor to be a part of it.
And it's a great testament to the two directors in charge of this film, creating, something visually so entrancing with the letters that were written and the songs that were written. What was it like working with the two of them? How creative were they in terms of like the process of it all?
Oh, I loved working with them. It's interesting because they've got two different dynamics. Whereas Jane is almost the voice, and Ian is a little bit, behind some he's sort of more internal. And she's almost a performer herself, when it was coming to tell us how to dance. She was up at front and very easy to work with in that sense, because, she was very giving to us. And also the first thing she said, because it was on such a short time scale, was don't fear the pressure, embrace it. Because out of this, art will happen that we don't even know is about to happen. So I always remember that sort of took me through those 2 days.
Yeah.
Loved working with them.
Yeah, I agree. I think as a performer, whether it's a dancer or an actor, a musician, you always put a lot of pressure on yourself in terms of what you would hope to achieve. And again, the weight of responsibility. But I think with Ian and Jane, both of them were just so approachable at any time, even given the massive time constraints we were under and the pressure to deliver. We had the studio for 2 days, and the idea that we were going to shoot this feature essentially over that time, you could go down a deep dive of, oh God, I hope I'm not the one that drops the ball.
Yes.
But you never felt like that was coming from their side. Like anytime any of us were in front of the camera, it was just a wealth of encouragement and ideas and enthusiasm, and I think that just carried over through everyone. So it just meant that it never, for me, it was, like you said, it was the best 2 days on set, and it just felt like a glorious kind of experience to be a part of.
Yeah, what an honour and a privilege, not only to work with Ian and Jane, but the whole cast. And they set the tone for that by asking us to be kind to each other, to look after each other, and as Viva said, to be brave. And I think it just gave us carte blanche to experiment with things and go and try things. There were literally parts where we had to improvise for a while and just trust that during the editing it would all look great. But I think the rushes were so good that they've got a wealth of material. What an honour.
Speaking about, experimenting, hearing what Emiliana has done with the letters into her songwriting, weaving that through, what do you think this film has inspired you in terms of how we approach music towards the future, in terms of whether it's making or listening or the storytelling behind all of that?
Well, I grew up in the MTV era where actually there was such a thing as visuals with songs, and I kind of love that. For me, it's an album which is illustrated in a way that I wouldn't have expected. As I've obviously seen the film, it's such a visual, rich experience that it really helps you get into the music and understand what the letters are about. So a story, a music video, it's hard to describe, but it's kind of amazing.
Yeah, I think for me, given it was such a personal project for so many people on so many levels, I think the power of the film is that it subverts so many genres. You have the musical elements, the dance elements, the dramatic elements, And the fact that it could marry all of those genres in such a wonderful, playful way, it was in a way like it restored my faith in like just storytelling, that there is a different way to do it. And if everyone is in it for the right reasons and everyone's on the same page, you can have a lot of fun at the same time. And seeing it as I did, it was just a beautiful piece. And knowing that everyone was involved in the way that they were, it was a wonderful, wonderful experience.
Yeah, I mean, sort of asking us how we're inspired, but I mean, part of it is I'm inspired also by Emiliana because, I mean, she's been away for 13 years, actually, you know, from gigging and performing, and the fact that she's discovered these love letters and was like, I have to write an album to them, you know, it's just awoken everything within her. Started from letters, getting us all together, ending in a feature film that's filmed over 2 days with these great directors and this great cast. I mean, the whole thing is kind of just crazy inspirational. So, yeah, for her, 13 years of being away from the limelight. So, yeah, really proud.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Very much. Thank you.